am Sam.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are JS804. Welcome to our second episode of our podcast. We hope you enjoy the first one as we intend to. We are going to be talking some more football today. And the reason being is because it's been a slow week in football, man. It has been a slow week in football, and that's kind of the whole thing right now, which is funny. You know how football is king, or when football is king when a lot of sports announcers are saying that news is dead right now, and it's funny because the NBA is in the middle of their
they're like
regular season.
In the regular season, and they just got done with their big trade deadline, and no insane trades from what I understand, but yeah, that's a whole other beast within itself.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking some football today. We're actually going to tackle some of the top wide receivers in free agency this year, and I kind of stole somebody's list, and I thoroughly looked through it. I checked a few different people's lists. But this one I agree with the most, with the exception of one or two people.
I think the number one is pretty much unanimous. I don't think anybody can mess up number one.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump right in here. Actually, before we do, the only news I've heard this week, it kind of unfortunately reinforces my prediction on who's gonna win the NFC East next year. And that's the Giants, unfortunately.
Oh, it's Mike Shula?
And them hiring Mike Shula as their offensive coordinator.
I actually had thought about that today. Not about Mike Shula, but if it's not the Giants, I still think it's going to be... Because I still don't think the Redskins are in a good spot. They might lose Terrell Pryor. Despite Alex Smith. Yes, they got Alex Smith. But I don't think they're... It's either I feel like they're going to have have a 10-6 season.
Well, 10-6.
It's not bad. That can get you to the playoffs.
That can get you to the playoffs, provided that you win your division. And the NFC... Here's why I don't think it'll get you into the playoffs this year, is because the NFC is an offensive juggernaut. We had 3 teams come out of the NFC South last year that made the playoffs, and we had people like the Rams. Again, I don't think, like I said last week, they're going to do as good as they are. But the NFC East, in the NFC, there's a bunch of juggernauts this year. And with that being said, 10-6 might get to the playoffs, but that's going to be tough.
The only reason I have a problem with the NFC East is I just don't trust Eli Manning. And they still don't have any run game. Like, their run game is pretty much Orleans Darkwa, which is not anything to shake a fist at.
Yeah.
And so they have a better defense coordinator, but they also have problems with their offensive line. And I just don't trust Eli Manning. He might try to have like one really good 2 more years, if that. I don't know if he even has that much in him. But even this year, before anybody got hurt, he still didn't look good. He still plays like... people give crap to Blake Bortles, but Blake Bortles, I think, is more consistent than Eli Manning is right now, and at least has his feet. And Eli Manning can't run. Not really.
Okay. Again, I understand that, but with Mike Shula being there, yes, the 15-1 2015 Panthers, Mike Shula, him being there just makes people play better. And it will make people play better. And to deny that coaching... deny that coaching taps into people's potential would be just false. I'm not saying you're saying that, but what I'm saying is, if you look at the Vikings, man, Mike Zimmer seems to tap into everybody's potential and do good. And I hate to say it, but Doug Peterson does too.
Oh yeah, I still think that they're going to have a good season. And I know that you're talking about no one's won the division multiple times in a row, and I'm not saying the Eagles are going to do that, but the Eagles still have an insanely good team next year, and they're not losing a lot of pieces, and they have 2 good quarterbacks. So Nick Foles shows that he can be clutch and be a good quarterback. So, he played good. The only bad game he really had was, I forgot which one. I think it was the game against you guys. No, or did they rest him? They rested him in that game. They rested
Nick Foles, which was really strange.
No. Did they rest him? Are you sure?
Yeah, they rested. Well, they rested him but I don't think it was because they actually quote unquote benched him, but
Benched
I think they were resting him, and that was a sad game. I really wish we would have lost that game, only winning with 9.
Well, that one, and they had one. He had one game where they went like 31 and something, and they won. They had like one really good game, and they had one kind of bad game where they lost. I think that was the Seahawks. Was it Seahawks? No, they beat the. I don't remember. The season's already going fuzzy, but they. I still think they're in a much better position and still having a good defense. They still have an insanely good defense, and I don't think there's a lot of people in the NFC in general. I still think they have a top 5 defense going into next year, so which is going to be a big problem. And I think their offense in the NFL overall, sorry, in the NFL overall, they have a top 5 defense. So
you know what's funny? The Eagles beating the Cowboys this year, literally, it's like they swapped places, except for the Cowboys didn't. Even win their playoff game in 2016, the Cowboys beat the Eagles in their first matchup 2016, and then lost to the Eagles because the Cowboys rested their starters the last week 2016. 2017, Eagles beat the Cowboys first matchup, and then lost to the Cowboys because the Eagles rested their starters last week of 2017. So it's like such a reversed season. With the
I think the one last thing I'll say about the NFC East, and I don't know how we just got talking about it, but I think the one last thing is I think for the Cowboys, my only problem with the Cowboys going into next season and future seasons is they're kind of having growing pains, in my opinion. Like they're trying to figure out what they want to do on defense. I know they have a really young defense. They are still figuring out about Des Bryant. They still have a very young quarterback that had an insanely good year. I think he's legitimate, but I think he just had an insanely this last year was just bad for everything going on with problems on the offensive line but I think next year will be better. But it's very much nothing against the Cowboys, but I would be surprised if I saw them in the playoffs. I think they can be very good. I just think they need some help on the defensive side of the ball, almost as bad as they need it. Yeah, they need some help on defense.
Well, they need help on defense, and that they need help with corners and safeties. I think their linebacking core is good, and I think their pass rushers are good. And here's the thing, though, that's why they brought in Chris Richard to help fill in those gaps where that needs to be filled. And I think again, a lot of their young guys have potential. And I think Chris Richard is going to help tap into that, being the coordinator for the secondary. But the thing with the Cowboys is that I think they had a lot of unnecessary attention this year and drama because you had the national anthem thing that Jerry Jones implemented. That rule, he said, if you kneel, then you're not going to play. And then not only that was looming. Suspension.
I'll just say this. I watch a lot of Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. And one thing Shannon Sharp says that is the absolute truest about the Cowboys is that Zeke is the engine. He is the thing that makes that offense chugga choo choo. He's the wheels. He's the engine. The rest of it is a body that helps them go through. The offensive line is the body, and he is the engine that makes that sucker move. And that is a fact. Like after him being gone for six games, you just see it. You just see that they were struggling without him. They did decently. But I think Dak really has to come into his own, and really, if he's going to be, he has to start becoming a better pocket passer. And a better, there's one thing, you can be a Russell Wilson, everybody can, but there's very few Russell Wilsons. So you need to be able to be confident in the pocket and throw the ball accurately. And that's what I think the next season is really, truly going to show when he has all his pieces back.
Here's where I agree, but yet I disagree with that statement is because engines are made up of parts. And part of that engine is the offensive line. I'm not going to say that I'm not taking away from Zeke because Zeke is astonishing. He's freaking good. And like I said, I'll fight you tooth and nail about Zeke being the best running back in the NFL.
And I think even if somebody disagrees with that, they're not going to say that he's not the top 3.
Oh no, absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we can get our teams. I don't know if I start talking about the Packers, I'll be here all day too. So we'll get on to it.
All right, so we're going to talk about some free agents, or some wide receivers rather, that are going to be free agents this year. Number one is Jarvis Landry, and I agree wholeheartedly. Jarvis Landry hasn't had a really good quarterback throw to him. He hasn't had a really good quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is an above average, but not really, really good quarterback. I put Ryan Tannehill in kind of Joe Flacco territory.
We'll see, because he's finally coming back next season. He's been gone for, this is what, 2 years, 3 years? 2 years?
He got hurt. What did he get hurt in training camp or the beginning of? He got hurt, but nonetheless he was replaced by Jay Cutler, and again, like I said, not great quarterbacks. And even then, when Ryan Tannehill went out, he had Matt Moore throw to him. And I'm gonna go over his numbers really quick here, because it is unbelievable how good of a wide receiver he is. And I think his numbers have been deflated because of the quarterbacks that he had. All right, 2014, his rookie year, he had 758 yards and 5 touchdowns. Not bad. That's a pretty good first year. All right, next year, 2015, he had 1,157 yards and 4 touchdowns. 2016, 1,136 yards and 4 touchdowns. And 2017, 987 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's a monster. And again, if he gets a good quarterback, if he gets a Drew Brees, Matt Ryan type of quarterback, a deep downfield passer, those numbers, you're going to see those skyrocket.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right, so I could talk about how good he is all day. And
a lot of teams are going to want to have him. He's definitely the number one. My question here, and I thought about this too, is like, okay, if the Dolphins lose him and don't sign him, what do they have on offense? They don't.
Man, I know.
They have Kenyon Drake as their running back. They lost. They traded Jay Ajayi for a 4th round pick. So
what are they going to do with that 4th round pick? Are they going to here's what I want to know. When
you
it
lost
comes
2
draft time,
stars. Yeah, what is there in the 4th round that you're like, I gotta have that 4th round pick?
I know it, man. And look, the thing
that was just a bad trade, straight up. That was a bad trade. I don't know what. I know they were. I know who's the coach for them now.
Oh, what's his name?
I know he's definitely someone's gonna put his foot down.
Why can't I think of his name? I'm gonna come back to that here in just a moment. Okay, number 2 is Josh Gordon. All right, Josh Gordon. I have some crazy some crazy stats to throw at you right now. Okay, so here's the thing. Josh Gordon obviously was out for probably the good part of 2 years.
Drug problems mainly. Just a ton of drug problems and things like that kept him out, and he got banned for a whole year, didn't he? He got
banned for. He
got suspended. I'm sorry, suspended. He not banned.
No, he got banned. I think he got banned and got reinstated.
Yeah. He was banned from the league and finally, I think, he talked
Gase,
to Roger. He said he had personal meetings with Roger Goodell, and Goodell was, still wanted to have him in the league and stuff like that. Because some people were kind of like off on him altogether because of all the drug problems and everything like that. He played games apparently drunk and high. And still put up good numbers, man. And that's the thing. And here's the thing. Oh, by the way, Adam Gase is the head coach. Here's the thing. Josh Gordon. I'm gonna go over his numbers really quick, and I'm gonna go over something pretty crazy here. Came in the league in 2012, 805 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2013, his best year, 1,646 yards and 9 touchdowns. Has another interesting fact. Look who started in 2013. Jason Campbell came. I don't know if he went to the Raiders. That had to have been after the Raiders. So Jason Campbell, right? That's one. Brandon Whedon is another. Brian Hoyer.
And then Brian Hoyer. So the dude has mad skills. The dude is incredible. And again, I think his numbers are also deflated too. And I'm telling you, if he just needs to play high and he needs to play drunk and have a good
Come on, boys, give me a 6-pack and I'm ready to play.
But yeah, despite his shortcomings, he's a talented wide receiver that I think would fit in a system really with any consistent good quarterback. I don't know why, I could see him fitting in Oakland really good.
Well, in Oakland might trade Michael Crabtree. There was other stuff about that, were rumors that he might get traded, and it's very much because he's had problems over there. He hasn't really performed this last season. You could even see Amari Cooper get traded. I'm not gonna lie, they have been really inconsistent. You know, they have not been consistent.
So let's stay on. We're gonna stay here, but again, I threw the Raiders out there because again, his play style, his ability just fits really good in that system. And well, the system might change now that John Gruden is back.
Josh Gordon could even be picked up by the Redskins.
That's true.
I mean, if they're losing Terrell Pryor and he's going to go in free agency, hey, you never know.
You never know. Next is Allen Robinson. Here's the thing about Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is a beneficiary of having no other good wide receivers.
Yeah.
Other than Marquise, what's his name? Marquise Lee. Okay. He's a beneficiary of not that great of a quarterback. So it's really kind of hard to tell.
But he had a bad season this season. Like, his numbers are not good. I forgot you have to look up his numbers again, but his numbers were not anything to write home about.
And here's what's crazy. He's really only had one good season. Again, even then, despite the defensive heavy Jacksonville Jaguars, you know, when you have a defensive heavy game, when you have a defensive heavy team, you expect the offense to be on the field more. And with that being said, that really I kind of wonder what's going on with Allen Robinson's numbers. Here's the thing. Allen Robinson, his first year, 548 yards, 2 touchdowns, and in 2015, this was his best year. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so upset at this is because in 2015, he had 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns, which is pretty good. Here's the thing. What sucked is I remember it took him a while to get started. It might have been like week 3 or week 4 in 2015. I drafted Allen Robinson. And I was like, man, he's not doing anything for me. And like an idiot, I put him on the waiver wire. Or, I dropped him, so I didn't trade him. Somebody else picked him up, and then that's when he started striking like lightning. That's when he started doing really good, and I'm like, come on, man. That's the worst. Anyway, that was 2015. 2016, 883 yards, 6 touchdowns. 2017, not that great. So, you know, again, I think, and I might be deflating his numbers here, but he's all right. But I don't know how effective he's going to be.
I don't think if he gets... I know a team will pick him up because there's some teams that obviously need wide receivers. But if he gets picked up, I don't expect him to get paid like hardcore. I don't think he's going to demand an insane amount of money. You know, I just don't see it. His numbers haven't been consistent. Josh Gordon, yeah, he was out for, 3 years basically. But,
he came in guns blazing.
He came in guns blazing, even on the Browns with Deshaun Kaiser. And... You could see the potential there while he's playing. The guy was, he's a physical specimen. The guy just has insane physical ability. Someone like Megatron or
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. But with Allen Robinson, he also had an ACL tear, and again, like I said, I don't know quite where to put him because Blake Bortles was this quarterback. And I'm not saying Blake Bortles is bad by any means. Blake Bortles is a solid quarterback. But... I wouldn't even know if I'd say solid. I would say...
He's solid.
I would say average to mediocre average. He's okay.
But anyway, he's... I still have yet to see where his potential is.
This is where I disagree on this list.
Okay, again, I'm going to... Quick review. Number 1, Jarvis Landry. Number 2, Josh Gordon. Number 3, Allen Robinson. And number 4, Sammy Watkins. Why do people gush over Sammy Watkins? He's not that good.
I think, in my opinion, Sammy Watkins should be above Allen Robertson. If we're talking about this year, I think he got overshadowed. He still did decent. He didn't do horrible. Had a decent year. But I think it was Todd Gurley and some of that offensive line that really just. And Todd Gurley, man, that guy must have been on crack this season because he had some insane games. But I think Sammy Watkins can be. I mean, he's 25 and he can develop to be a really good wide receiver.
Could be a late bloomer, but
yeah, it could be a late bloomer, but I think he's got the potential to.
I just
be
feel
good.
like the thing with Sammy Watkins is I just feel like he's been way overhyped for not putting up that much production. Now I will give him a pass on some things just because he has Tyrod Taylor as his quarterback. Now
you mean Jared Goff?
No, Tyrod Taylor before.
Oh, I think you're talking about this season.
Well, no, this season was his best season.
Yeah.
And so, again, like I said, I'm not going to fault him too much because, again, I don't know why people freaking gush over him, but it doesn't make any sense. And, again, like I said, it could be a matter of Tyrod Taylor. He has ability to be a great pocket passer. He does run a little bit more. He also has
pocket passer.
Shady.
You mean passer catcher?
Yeah, he has a potential to be a good pocket passer, and I think he's proven himself. But again, if we're looking at the stock that people put him at, he does have a high draft stock. I mean, a high trade stock or a high stock to be picked up. I just don't know why. Again, let's look at the numbers when he was with Tyrod Taylor versus when he was with Jared Goff. 2014, 982 yards, 6 touchdowns. Actually, that's pretty good. 2015, 1,047 yards, 9 touchdowns. Okay. Maybe,
I told you he's better than he's decent, and I
you know what
with how spread the offense. This offense was so spread this season for the Rams.
That's true.
He might have had even more. It wasn't like he was the only. You had Cooper Kupp they could throw to. Who was their tight end? They have a decent tight end, if I remember. Maybe not.
I can't think of his name right now. But
I can't remember of his name either.
You know what I think I'm probably lamenting over is the fact that I somehow, some way, always tell myself, okay, Sam, we're going to pick up Sammy Watkins this year, and he's going to do something good. So, I'm sorry, his best year was 2015 with 1,047 yards and 9 touchdowns. Pretty decent numbers. 2016, 430 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think the Bills firing their offensive coordinator week 2 that year probably didn't help. And then last year, amongst the buffet of talent that the Rams had, he had 593 yards and 8 touchdowns. And his best game was sadly against the 49ers. Remember that Thursday night shootout between the Rams and the 49ers?
Oh, yeah, that was a good game.
Good game. Man, well worth watching. I was actually dreading that game. But hey, ended up doing good. All right. Number next, we are going to, from Sammy Watkins and down to this completely unagreeable selection at number 5, Cameron Meredith. All right, again, like I said, I'm sticking to this list only because it's the closest one I could find at Cameron Meredith. Let's go over Cameron Meredith's number. I'm not going to fault him too much just because he hasn't really had a quarterback. Good God. He had Mike Trubisky and
Mike Glennon.
Mitchell Trubisky, and Mike Glennon. Okay, 2015, 120 yards. I think he got hurt.
Yeah, he had an ACL and or something else tear. The ACL and the TCL? I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know. But his next 2016 was 888 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not bad. 4 touchdowns, excuse me. Not bad at all. But number 5, no, absolutely not.
I think he's a risky. He's a little risky because you don't know how he's going to perform. You don't know.
That could be it.
I am surprised that they put Terrell Pryor lower.
Hold on. We'll get down there. again, I think he's one of the situations where they've seen enough to where they can be like, okay, he's flashy, but is that flash? Is it just flash or is it actual talent? So maybe that's where he's at. Maybe that's why he's at number 5 on this list right now. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Number 6, Terrell Pryor. I did not think that Terrell Pryor was going to have a good year this year. That's only because
I thought you were going to say they were going to have. You told me the opposite. You said that you thought they were going to have a good year.
I did not say
you
that.
thought that he was going to do good on the Redskins.
The reason why I'm not saying I didn't think he would be this bad. I didn't think he'd be that bad this year. But the reason why I was saying that is because in 2016, the Browns, Corey Coleman was kind of the main guy there. And when he got hurt, I went straight to the waiver wire and picked up Terrell Pryor because I said that dude's going to be their number 1 receiver right now. And he was. He was a good receiver. Here's the thing. Terrell Pryor, and again, I'm not saying this just because I think Terrell Pryor is incapable of being a great talent. My God, he used to quarterback. He was a quarterback in high school. I mean, in college. And he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of untapped potential. But he just didn't do great this year, and I don't know if that was because of the system he was in. It just didn't work for him. But I mean, good night. We're looking at 240 yards and 1 touchdown. 240 yards and 1 freaking touchdown.
Yeah, he had a bad year.
Whereas the year before, he had 1,007 yards and 4 touchdowns. So,
with the Browns.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if it's a testament of Terrell Pryor being bad. But here's the thing. He played with the Raiders from 2011 to 2013 when they didn't have a quarterback. So, it's tough to say. But I do think he should be higher than Cameron Meredith. But I don't know.
I mean, hey, you don't even... I think it's because he just performed so bad this year. And Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's above average good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And so I thought with Kirk Cousins that they would actually get some stuff done. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that.
But anyway, again, him being at number 6, I think that might fit him. Do I agree with Cameron Meredith being above him? No, I don't. But anyway, on to number next. We have Marcus Lee.
I thought it was Marquise. I think it's Marquise.
Marcus Lee.
Okay. Anyway, I actually like him. I actually really like Marcus Lee. He was their number 1 wide receiver, I think. Really, yeah, overall.
Which isn't really saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying too much, but
I mean, look, 2014 again, his debut year, 422 yards, one touchdown. All right, 2015, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, and then looks like his numbers inflated in 2016 with 851 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then not really that much better with yards last year at 702 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I think the problem here is, again, it's a Blake Bortles problem. I don't think it's some of these wide receivers that... Because Blake Bortles had his best year this year. Would you say that they had the best...
2014 was his best year.
I mean, I'm saying the team overall.
Yeah, the team overall, but yeah, because like Blake Bortles, he had that one...
And I like Blake Bortles. I ain't trying to give him any crap. I mean, the guy gets obviously a lot of crap from the league, because they think he's trash, he's horrible. But I think he's got potential, again, to be a really good quarterback. But
2015, I'm sorry. But, like, this was a pretty decent year. 2000...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2015.
4,400 yards.
He had
passing.
4,428 yards and 35 touchdowns.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, but 18 interceptions. Again, that's 2015. 2017 was 3,687 yards. Very solid numbers. 21 touchdowns. All right.
35 touchdowns, no joke either, man.
Yeah.
35 TDs is...
That's really good. Once in my opinion, you've had a good year. You've had a damn good year if you have at least
like
30
yeah.
touchdowns,
Well, depending on your interception ratio.
Yeah,
interception ratio. Now, he only had 18 interceptions, but 21 touchdowns to 13.
Only 18 interceptions? Well, this year, okay, we're still talking 2000.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about my boy Aaron Rodgers, who, he don't like to throw over 10 after he throws 40 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
But 2017, 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, pretty decent. This is the year he had a pretty good QBR of 84.7.
That looks like Dak numbers right there.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not kidding. I ain't kidding. But anyway, so we're talking about Marquise Lee.
I think he could go to a lot of different teams, and I think teams that need weapons. You know, a team that needs some weapons that has a team down at number 8. The Colts. The Colts could use some weapons because T.Y. Hilton ain't getting any younger, and I don't know.
Talented. He's talented.
The guy's talented, but that's
not who's in free agency.
No, but
Marcus
Lee could.
Number,
teams that need receivers is probably the Colts.
Yes, absolutely.
If we're looking at receiving teams, oh my gosh, another team that needs.
Hold on.
I'm just saying. There's other teams that I'm seeing on this list that are going up for free agency that really need good receivers that don't have.
Yeah. Number 8.
Don't have any good
Dante
ones.
Moncrief. I'm not gonna fault him too much because when you don't have Andy Dalton, it's gonna hurt you. Dante Moncrief, his first year, 2014, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns, 733 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then no Andy Dalton, 307 yards.
Man, look at
7
that.
touchdowns.
7 touchdowns with 307 yards. What happened there?
I don't know. And then this year, 391 yards, 2 touchdowns. There's a few factors in there. So again, I don't. He shouldn't be faulted for some of the things he has no control over.
I mean, he had the quarterback Jacoby Brissett.
Brissett.
Yeah, that was going to say Brisket, like Brisket.
Brisket, yeah.
Jacoby Brisket.
Jacoby Brisket. But see, that was another thing with Jacoby Brissett. He could throw the ball downfield, but he didn't. And he was more of kind of your running quarterback, which, 1, hurt Dante Moncrief's number. 2, you have T.Y. Hilton, and that's going to hurt your numbers
and Frank Gore
by default. But anyway, I don't know. I think he's good. I think he's only been at the Colts his whole career, so it's not.
Not to see. I don't know if he's going to leave or not. They might just sign him.
Do I think he should be top 10? Yeah, only by virtue.
Roughly.
Only by virtue
because of his quarterback.
Of his quarterback situation and his environment and everything. But number 9, who I did completely, I don't know if I disagree with this or not, but Paul Richardson. Paul Richardson's a tough one, is because when you have literally Russell Wilson as your quarterback, it's gonna hurt you or it's gonna help you. It's gonna hurt you in that literally Russell Wilson carried the team on his back this year with his banged up defense that he had. Also, you have guys in Doug
and his offense. I mean, his offense hasn't been anything to scream at either. I mean, he's been the whole offense, honestly.
Yeah. And the fact that you have, it's him, you have Doug Baldwin, and then you have Jimmy Graham. Outside of that, I can kind of understand why he had a bad year.
Yeah.
But number 8, I don't know if he should be number 8. Maybe number 11, number 12. But 2014, he came in 271 yards when they had a good year.
But
one touchdown.
I personally think, I don't want to say this about Paul Richardson, but these numbers might even be inflated because you do have Russell Wilson on your team.
True. That's
you
true.
know, if you put Paul Richardson in a team with a lesser quarterback, will he do this good? I don't know.
And then having Tyler Lockett, of course, in the mix too, is probably going to hurt your numbers. But in 2017, he had 703 yards, which is actually his best year, and then 6 touchdowns. So he left himself on a good draft stock. Like, his stock was high this year simply because this was his best year. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree number 8. So I don't know if you have anything else to chime in more.
No, not too much on Paul Richardson.
All right,
Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace shows flashes. That's the only thing with Mike Wallace. He's not consistent. He's not great, but he
started good off in the beginning of the year, didn't he? I think he had a good beginning year, and they ramped it up towards the end.
Well, they got Buck Allen that kind of helped hurt his numbers a little bit. But he's a vet, man. He's been around for a while, and I think by sheer tenure, he deserves to be on a top 10 list, only because, like I said, he's solid and he always really shows flashes. This past year he had 748 yards and 4 touchdowns. Nothing like
I don't know what they're paying him on the Ravens, but I could easily see the Ravens picking him back up because a lot of these people on their list, I think he should stay with the Ravens. I know he's going to be free agency, but I think the Ravens should just pick him back up again. I mean, like I said, he's not
as good as he's not worth franchise tagging.
No, he's not.
He's not worth
but he's definitely worth. I think he's kept his weight, as a receiver. I mean, again, so I think if he was to go on another team, I have no idea what team he would go on. But he is getting older. He's 31. But if he's still good, I mean, I think a lot of teams could use him. I think if I was the Ravens, I would not let him go.
Here's the thing.
Your offense already sucks.
Your offense does.
You have Joe Flacco. So,
which is another flashy, again, he shows
I know that we're only going up to 10, but I have to talk about 11 because I think his trade value literally went this season. Watching the Titans and this last person, Eric Decker, I don't like him. I don't like Eric Decker. I don't think he doesn't produce.
One touchdown.
Yeah, one. Yeah, what is his stats?
563 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think he was injured this season. So I don't know.
Here's the thing: you had, to be fair,
what happened to the season when the Broncos, where you had almost 1,300 yards?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Peyton Manning,
there's been brighter spots.
And hold on, here's the thing, Peyton Manning. Oh, I have to correct something, by the way. I said last week that Tom Brady, the 2007 Tom Brady with 50 touchdowns was the highest season, and I completely had a brain fart there. It was actually 2013. Peyton Manning had 55 touchdowns, which coincides with the fact that his numbers were inflated because of that, and Eric Decker, because 2013. Peyton Manning having 55 touchdowns.
You still have to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, you do. But here's the thing. No, I'm not talking about Peyton Manning numbers being inflated. I'm talking about Eric Decker. In 2013, he had 1,288 yards and 11 touchdowns. I think he's all right. Maybe he's lost it because he went to because he
just was at the Jets and now he's. I mean,
was he injured?
No, he was injured.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Listen.
Oh, 2015, gosh, the Jets
2015, Ryan Fitzpatrick was a quarterback. He took him 10-6, so he had 1,027 yards and 12 touchdowns playing with the Jets.
Did he play? Did he play all of 2016 season?
I think so.
You've got to look that up. I don't know if that's the case. That there's no way.
2000. No, I don't know. You said 16. I'm sorry.
2016. Yeah, I know he played all the snaps for 2017.
I would not be surprised.
I would not be surprised because the Jets had some serious hardcore issues. Was that when they had Geno Smith?
He was injured, by the way.
Then they put in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he was just horrible. And they put someone else in, and it was just bad. It was just they had a horrible problem at quarterback that year. So I don't know. If you're the Titans. You drop him. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you keep him. Maybe
I'm gonna say. Well, he's gonna be a free agent, so we'll see what's gonna happen here in the next few weeks. I think they're parting ways with DeMarco Murray, so that's that's less snaps, or that's more snaps for.
Where does DeMarco Murray go?
I don't know.
That's another thing too.
That's more snaps for. Why can't I think of his name?
Derrick Henry.
So that might help because that's a decent dual back system.
Oh, and
that might
Delaney
help.
Walker is also
their.
He's their tight end, but he's like their main receiver.
Yeah, that might help alleviate some of the pressure from Marcus Mariota. But again, he was number 11. I agree with him being around there.
But it's sad because he was decent at one point, or semi-decent, and he's just dropped like an absolute bomb.
Yeah. Again,
let's just scroll down. I'm going to scroll down a little bit down here on this list. I'm just curious because I've not seen this list till now. Tyrell Williams. Okay, yeah, we can keep scrolling. John Brown.
John Brown, he should be up there. Willie
Oh,
Snead.
okay. I have to bring up Willie Snead.
Okay.
Oh, and Danny Amendola. Okay. Danny Amendola. Oh, gosh. And Taylor Gabriel?
Yeah, they have these dudes at 18. Again, let's stick with the top 10. But again, back to Mike Wallace. I think he deserves to be a little bit higher, despite some of the stuff that I said. I think you drop Dante Moncrief down to 10. You take out Cameron Meredith out at 5. Bump up Terrell Pryor to 6. Take out Marcus Lee bump up Marcus Lee to number 6. Take out Dante Moncrief.
Well, now I have a problem because now I'm seeing that they have some legitimate players down here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You take out Cameron Meredith and you put in John Brown. John Brown is, for him being under Larry Fitzgerald and him having David Johnson, despite the fact that he was hurt this year, he's a daggone good bat. He's a daggone good number 2.
I mean, how are you not? But Taylor Gabriel's on this list, and he's an actual legitimately player.
Here's my thing with Taylor Gabriel. I think he really is a good player, and when there's plenty of...
Do you think he's inflated by...
No, he's deflated. I think he's deflated because you have...
All the weapons?
Look at all the weapons at the Falcons have. Are you kidding me? Even despite his numbers still. Okay, look, 2017. This past year, he had 378 yards and 1 touchdown. I understand that, and that's not a testament of him being bad. I think we can... It's fair that we put him at number 8, put number 9, and maybe even take out... I don't know. It's kind of tough, but... In 2016, he had 579 yards, 6 touchdowns. So
yeah, that's when they went.
But here's the thing. With the Browns, 2015, 241 yards, 0 touchdowns. I'm sorry, I said 4 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns for 2016. 579 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2016. 2015, Browns, 241 yards, 0 touchdowns, 621 yards, 1 touchdown. He's a good wide receiver. He just hasn't had a chance to be number 1, and I think he can
to make more star
be
power.
number 1.
Let's look at this list one more time. I just want to see this list one more. Oh, Danny Amendola. Oh, I don't want to say this about Danny Amendola because I think he's a good guy, but I think he's like little Tom Brady's little lapdog. I just see him like he looks at Tom Brady. He's like, "You're my quarterback." Like I think he's a good guy, but I don't think he would be anywhere without Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady has definitely.
Would anybody though?
I'm just saying any person that's under Tom Brady is going to get inflated. Well, not like he has Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is naturally good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying any person you put under the spotlight of that is going to look really, really good. And I think he's got some. There's a lot of chemistry between him and I mean, look at these. I mean, he got decent stats.
Yeah, he has decent stats.
But hey, when you have little nobody on your offense to 659 yards,
659 yards and
2 touchdowns.
I think he's more of a name because I think he's elevated because of who he's with.
That's what I think too.
So again, here's the thing with the Patriots: everybody's going to have 700 to 900 yards and about 5 or 6 touchdowns because they're like good, because they're made being good, except for Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks was the only one who was pretty good at, and Rob Gronkowski.
Oh yeah.
So when you have Tom Brady being able to spread the ball to anybody, regardless of how good or bad they are, I think that's going to hurt your numbers. So I don't really know where Danny Amendola stands. And again, he was with the Rams before that.
I'm going to say right now, pretty confidently he'll get re-signed again. I don't see why.
By virtue of
Bill Belichick probably wants to keep him in the system, and they'll just re-sign him again for another contract. And Tom Brady likes him, and he's had production for them. And when it comes up to when they need him. Now, one last person I don't want to talk about any longer. We don't want to keep this one as long as we did the last podcast. But one last person I want to talk about is Willie Snead, because he also dropped like a rocket this year. I don't know what happened, but you just basically forgot he was on the team in offense. I watched a lot of Saints games this year. He was hurt, but he came back. I mean, he'd been there for the majority of the season. 92 yards. All right, look how many games he played. 92 yards. I'm pretty sure he played for the majority. I think he missed like the first 4 games.
I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. But again, we can look at a few things.
I hate to see this though. I'm really curious now how many games he played, because he used to be really, really good or pretty decent, at least to say the least. And
he was a good number 2. He's a good number 2.
Yeah.
He's a good number 2 because even like we were saying before he went to the Patriots this year, Brandon Cooks was playing for the Saints, and the Saints.
Okay, he played 11 games.
Okay, yeah, you still got to put up. Well, again, Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram.
Yeah, but there's no excuse. If you're playing with Drew Brees and you have 92 yards, that's insane, man.
All right, so we'll just need 2016. But hold on, 2016 he had 895 yards.
So what the hell happened this season? I don't know. I know you had a running game
and 4 touchdowns.
You didn't even break 100 yards.
Yeah, for real. But again, 2016, Brandon Cooks was there, and then 2015.
That's why he was so low on the list, because this season probably just made him fall off the cliff. So
yeah, true.
How old is he? How old is he?
He's
only 25.
He's 25.
Wow, maybe he's a sleeper. Maybe he's.
And then 2015, he had 984 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's a good. These 2 seasons are really good.
They're not really good. They were okay
for a rookie. Almost 1,000 yards is insane.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really good. That's for a rookie.
And I think that's the year
that's better than Juju Smith-Schuster, who had I think that's. I don't know. I don't want to. Well, maybe not. I don't know what Juju Smith-Schuster's number is, but
another thing that probably helped them was I think that was the first year that they didn't have Jimmy Graham. So that probably was a factor in that. But anyway, well that's we definitely don't want to be as long as we were last week.
Yes.
Let us know what you think.
If you have someone else that you think should be on the list that we didn't talk about, that we're just completely missing on wide receivers,
let us know. Let us know in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Again, we're on SoundCloud as well. So let us know. Hey, thanks for spending, whether it's your commute, whether it's you just cooking in the kitchen or whatever. Thanks for spending time and listening to us. Once again, I am Samuel.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are JS804, and have a great day.